Hi, I'm Felicity Curran. I'm the founder and president of Little Kitchen Academy. Thank you for your interest. I'm going to take a little bit of your time today to give you a behind-the-scenes tour so you know exactly what to expect during a class at Little Kitchen Academy. Something that you will notice when you come to Little Kitchen is that we keep the doors shut and locked. We do this mostly for safety of your children. So coming to first class, you'll notice that we're busy sanitizing and prepping the environment, and we'll come and open the doors 3 or 4 minutes before class starts. Love to introduce you to our menu board. This is actually the first time our students will find out what they're making in class today. We do that for many reasons, but the most exciting reason is the children jumping out of their cars and running down the street to see what we're gonna make is always so exciting for them. We also do it because we want to listen to Mother Nature. What is growing really well right now? What is at its prime? That's what we're going to use, because our job isn't just to teach children how to cook. It's actually to start to expand their palates and start to find different ways for them to try onions. Perhaps they don't like onions when they're raw in a salad, but when we've caramelized them and thrown them and smothered them in cheese on a flatbread, they might actually be interested in trying them. First stop for our students when they come in is our chef coat wall and our Birkenstocks. So all of our students have been invited to put on a chef coat. And this is where parents of youngest students may have a hard time leaving. This is a very big deal for a 3-year-old to come to an independent class without caregiver or mom and dad or someone, a loved one. And while they're trying to become brave and we're trying to engage them and attach them, best thing for mom and dad or caregiver to do is to walk away. If a child sees their caregiver still there, it may continue the emotions, and we want to remove that. If we can't settle your child, we will call you, but we're pretty good at this point. Next stop on our work cycle is the hand washing sink. This is a really interesting part of the journey, and something that came up actually during COVID was some of our students would say, oh, I already sanitized my hands, I don't need to wash them. And what we're doing here is we're building rote memory. Every time you walk into a kitchen, you wash your hands. Every time you walk into a kitchen, you wash your hands. But what we're also doing is we're also turning our back on any distractions that have been at the front door. So you'll notice that one of the instructors is here, and we tend to like to go down to eye level with our students so we can really form this beautiful attachment. And we might have a quick conversation, maybe talk about the hand washing song that we're doing, or what the day was like already, or what ingredients we're excited to work with today. And we're also going to look to see all of the stations to see which one that we're working at today. So this is one of our workstations. We have 10 workstations in a class, so 10 students for each class. We won't share stations, so it won't ever go above 10. We do that for many reasons. One, because if we have an individual station, we're able to support any allergies or food intolerances or even learning opportunities that our students come in with. Our goal is to use every single piece of equipment and every single tool that they have in their stations. You know, our job is to introduce these tools and then to show them the safety opportunities with these tools, and then we're going to start to refine and enhance the skill that we've just introduced. The other side of our workstation is awesome because they have their very own oven. Every child at Little Kitchen Academy gets their very own oven, and if your child has done anything with the oven work today, make sure you ask them about oven safety. You'll be blown away at what they've remembered and how important oven safety is to them. And we also have drawers full of tools, fun, familiar, but maybe not so familiar tools. And we do this on purpose because we want to create that memory when a child's at home and they see their caregiver cooking. That's what they're using. I get to use it now too. And we'll show them safely and appropriately how to use every single tool during their work at Little Kitchen Academy. And something I have to show you, nobody believes me, parents never believe me, but the children are responsible for washing their own dishes. Whether or not they do the job that we would like to see them do, we have a commercial dishwasher, we'll sanitize and clean after. They love washing the dishes, and they spend a lot of time, a lot of mindful time actually at the sink, seeing how many bubbles they can make, how they can remove all of the ingredients that they've put in the bowls. They also clean their stations and sweep the floors. Hi families, next stop on our tour is our gorgeous hydroponic wall powered by Let Us Grow. I think this is a really great place to show you some of our secrets to our success as to how we manage to have children take risks and try things that they may have never tried before. You know, I would be curious to know how many of our students company-wide had never seen basil before. Maybe they've seen it dried in a little jar, which we could bring out and we look at the difference. We look at dried basil versus fresh basil. But then I think about one of the most polarizing vegetables or fruits, actually, a tomato is a fruit, is our cherry tomatoes. So if a child is coming to our classes, maybe the first class they'll walk by and they'll be encouraged to run their fingers through the leaves and smell the tomatoes. The next class they might come by and they might see the gorgeous little yellow flower blooming. We might encourage them to use our little bee pollinator to learn a little bit about pollination. And then another class they come by and they see a gorgeous green tomato forming. By the time it's red, we've kind of invested in this tomato. We're kind of interested in it, and being invited without judgment, without expectation to pick that tomato and try it, or perhaps change it with seasoning or science, the tomato might be a bit more interesting and they may try it. And I can tell you it happens all the time. We have children that still don't like it, and that's absolutely fine, but we have way more children that think, I actually really like tomatoes. This is delicious. So having this food wall here where they can come and choose things at any time is a really important part of our work cycle. So families, welcome to our pantry. It's really important to us to have glass doors on the refrigerator, because every time the children walk back and forth, they're forming a rote memory and muscle memory of what a fridge looks like. So when they go off into living on their own independently, our hope is that they're going to remember how Little Kitchen Academy really well organized their fridge and their shelves and how everything was labeled and all the incredible colors that Mother Nature provides for us. They'll remember how it was stored in the fridge and they'll do the same thing. So on this side of our pantry, it's all of the dry goods. And this is an important part of our work because I want our students to see regular sized ingredients. It'd be much easier for us to buy bulk, but I want our students to see what they'll be buying, and I want them to form their own opinions. I want them to explore all the different options that they have so they can make an informed choice and they can advocate for what is important to them. There's something that you won't see in our pantry or in our fridge at Little Kitchen Academy. You won't see nuts, poultry, seafood, or meat. And we don't do that for any political reasons. You know, nuts are obvious, it's an allergen, and I'm just not confident we'd be able to contain that and keep everybody safe. But meat, poultry, and seafood was a decision we made because I think about our teenagers and how they're going off into independent living, and they're going to work within and live within a budget. You know, the most expensive part of a grocery store is the butcher, and it's where the seafood and the poultry is. So our job is going to be to teach children how to make nutrient-dense food from the most reasonably priced part of the grocery store. The legumes, the grains, the local seasoned produce. Going to share with you my favorite part of our class now, and I recognize I've probably said my favorite many times, but this is a really special part, and this is a part that we actually get to share with our parents and caregivers. So when the children have finished making everything in the kitchen and they've cleaned their stations, they're going to come and sit down and they're going to set the table. And at Little Kitchen Academy, this is how we set the table, and we practice grace and courtesy. It's so difficult at this point because we've been working for 2.5 hours and we're hungry. And grace is really how we feel about ourselves, and courtesy is how we share how we feel about ourselves to others. And one of the lessons with grace and courtesy is we have to wait until everybody at the table has their food before we start. And these beautiful children work so hard at this, and when it's something really delicious, it's a very, very difficult task. But we're sitting at the Chop Value table that is made out of 33,436 recycled chopsticks. It's a great lesson in sustainability when we have children who are curious about it. And then all of a sudden our parents come to the door and they're looking, and the children can't wait to share their work with you. And I think about my children and families with children when they come home with those macaroni pictures, masterpieces, or they come home with something that they've made from school. It's made with their love. It's made with their heart and soul, and they're so proud of it. It's not unlike the pancake or the rosemary onion flatbread that they've worked so hard on today. So if I have any advice or ask for my parents is, if your child offers you a piece, have a bite. Have a bite, because they have put all of their love into it and they can't believe that they get to now feed you. They can't believe they get to contribute to you. It's a really beautiful part of our class. When you've enrolled your child in a class or a session at Little Kitchen Academy, you'll be sent a link that will download an app that essentially keeps your child safe. The app will have a little QR on it, and you can put a picture of your child on it if you want, and we will not release a child to anybody who doesn't have that app. That is paramount for our safety, and I hope it would give all of our parents a little bit of confidence and comfort knowing that their child is very safe here. Well, that was a brief tour of what happens at Little Kitchen Academy. I hope you feel like you've been a bit of a fly on the wall on what your children would experience. I love hearing feedback and I love hearing suggestions. You're welcome to email me at any time, felicity@littlekitchenacademy.com. We look forward to changing lives from scratch together.